What is the most painful thing in the world? Is it stubbing your toe? Or maybe is it getting kicked in the gazoombas? Or is it a broken heart? I don't know, but today we're gonna find out. Starting off with one of the least painful injuries in the world, a simple paper cut. That is only $2. Now, I'll add, I think it matters where the paper cut is. If you get a paper cut in between your fingies, we gotta bump that up to at least $5. Next though, doubling the amount of pain, coming in at $4, we have stepping on a plug. Yeah! That does hurt. I think at your extremities, like your fingertips, your feet, your toes, that's where you have a lot of nerve endings. And that's why it's so painful to injure those parts of your body. And to continue on that trend, the next one up is stubbing your toe at also $4. Now, stubbing your toe is kind of like a paper cut, I think, where it depends how bad it really is. I mean, you can stub your toe to where it's like, oh, I stubbed my toe. But if you kick a cement wall at full force, I might go to the hospital. That would hurt really bad. Inching our way up now, though, we are at $5. And this is if you get scratched by a cat. I'll be honest, I'm not a big cat guy. I just love dogs, man. I just love dogs. Like if I were to get any pet, I don't have one. I would rather have 10 dogs than any amount of cats. I just love dogs so much. They're just nice, they're sweet, and they don't really scratch you like cats do. Next up, we have biting your tongue. I am ashamed to admit that I do this way more often than I should for being a 26-year-old grown man. But also I chew a lot of gum, so I think I'm just more likely to do it because I'm constantly chewing, and any one singular mischew, and I'm bleeding in my mouth. But normally I don't bite my tongue. I normally bite my cheek. Not really sure why. At $6? What? We have burning the roof of your mouth with hot pizza? Okay, I beg to differ. Being a pizza man connoisseur, in fact, here's an entire box of pizza right here that I ate all of it in one sitting. For size comparison, this is my head, and I have a really big head already. I have a serious problem with eating pizza, so if anyone has any intel on this here, I think I'm qualified. Look, it hurts. Don't get me wrong. It hurts, but at the same time, it hurts so good because it tastes so good. Kind of a love-hate thing. Next up, we have getting a splinter. Really? I feel like getting a splinter doesn't hurt that bad. It's just more annoying than anything else because it can like just irritate your skin for the next couple of days or weeks. But at $7, we have punching a wall. I'm just gonna assume this is like a brick wall. And to be honest with you, I thought it would be way higher because I think if you punch like a brick wall at full force, there's a very high likelihood that you're gonna break a bone in your hand. And breaking a bone is extremely painful. That's gonna be at least like $50, I think. Next up at $7, we have drowning. Bro, what? You die when you drown. What do you mean $7? You're dead. You die. That's infinite dolls. That is infinity and beyond. I don't understand how that's only $7. What are you talking about? You literally die. I mean, maybe it's not that painful to drown. It's just extremely dangerous. I guess that's the argument. But dude, drowning? It definitely takes way more of like a mental toll, and there's way more like mental trauma than any of the ones before. Maybe physically it doesn't hurt that bad, but like if you drown and you get resuscitated, I don't think I would ever go back in water. That would scar me for life. Next up at $8, we have arthritis. If that's just lower back pain, then I have arthritis at my ripe age of 26, and it is very annoying. And at the same amount of pain, we have the menstrual cycle, which women get about once a month. I am an expert in many things. That is not one of them, though. I don't really have much to say. I'm not too knowledgeable in that department. It's really just a bellyache. I'm gonna get roasted for that. All right, next up, though, at $8, we have standing on Legos. Yeesh. Now, I've jumped on Legos before, not just standing on them. And I also weigh, well, let's just say I weigh more than the average folk. And it doesn't feel good. I'm pretty sure my toes were bleeding after. So $8 is, we're actually starting to get up to an amount of pain that is like seriously getting uncomfortable. All right, dude, next up we have $9 with a toothache. I've never really had a toothache before, so I can't say for sure, but it just sounds funny. I'm not saying like toothaches don't hurt, but also I feel like you can make fun of it. Like, oh, you got a little toothache. Oh, okay, that sounds terrible. But I'm just like picturing Adam, my best friend, or Jack, coming up to me and saying, oh, Alec, I have a toothache. Being the phenomenal great friend that I am, the only proper response is, oh, Adam, oh, you have a toothache. Oh, I'm so sorry to you have toothache. I'm so sorry. Oh. You know what I'm saying? But clearly, toothaches actually do hurt quite a bit. Next, we have also a $9 being shot by a paintball gun. Ugh, that's not fun. I used to play paintball growing up. If you ever got shot by one, it actually leaves a welt and a bruise that will last days, sometimes a week. So that can hurt pretty bad. At 11, we have slamming your hand in a door. I've done this once before with a car door, and it was like, I think it was this finger, and my entire fingernail turned black and then fell off. So yeah, it can hurt pretty bad. At $12, we have alcohol on an open wound. I actually did that the other day. I cut my elbow, but it's healed now. You can still see a little teeny bit of scratch marks though. It was like bleeding and pretty bad. Put alcohol on it. Adam put alcohol rub on it, and I made sure not to make a face. I'll admit it hurt really, really bad, but I knew if I made a face, it would make me look weak. So I clenched every single muscle fiber in my body, and I didn't make a face. And now he probably thinks that I'm like the coolest person ever. Bro, sticking your hand in boiling water? What? How is that even close to rubbing alcohol on a wound? Bro, if you stick your hand in boiling water, you burn your whole hand. There's no way that's only $12. You're telling me that's the same amount as being stung by a bee? What? Who is measuring this? Bee is just like if a little bit gets, like if it like splashes up and touches you, but the image that it's showing is like sticking your hand in it. Nah, dude, I'm not doing that. But being stung by a bee, $12. Yeah, I mean, honestly, being stung by bees isn't that bad. Growing up, it was like I was terrified of bees, but now if I get stung by one, it's like, But don't get me started on wasps. Those, I would run from a wasp for 10 miles if I have to. I'm not messing with them. Falling down a flight of stairs is $13. Who measures that? Like, there's so many factors that go into that. How many stairs is it? What type of stair is it? Where on your body are you falling? Like, do you fall on your head? Do you fall on your butt? Falling downstairs can be extremely dangerous. You can break so many different bones. There's just way too much variation in falling down a flight of stairs to put a single number on it. Next, being choked is $13. To be honest, I don't think being choked hurts that much. It's just like you can't breathe. And don't ask me why I know that, okay? Let's not make it weird. Let's not make it weird. But I used to wrestle way back in my day, and I've done a little bit of jujitsu. And so I've had people choking me. Well, not with their hand, but like, you know, like one of these chokes. And it's uncomfortable, sure, but it's not like painful. It's not like, you know, like you get pinched and it's like, ow, it hurts so bad. It's more just like you're like, it's more like that. Oh, please do not clip that. It's over. My entire career is over. It was fun. I can't believe I just did that. Next up, we have starvation. Ooh, only $14, really? The thing is with starvation too, I've never like starved, but I have gone on fasts where I haven't eaten for 72 hours straight and like literally only drank water. I've gone through like being very, very hungry. I'm not going to claim that I've been starving because there actually are people out there who are suffering very badly and genuinely starving. But I think I can appreciate it a little bit since I've done 72-hour fasts. And I will say it's difficult, but it's not painful. At least for me. It was just very uncomfortable where like every moment of the day I was like, I want to eat. But I was never like, ow, my body hurts really bad. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's taking into consideration like the mental pain, the mental toll, the mental fatigue that it takes to go through that. In that case, I would agree. At $15, we have whiplash. Ooh, okay. So whiplash is like if you get tackled really hard or if you're in a car accident and your head like whips back like that. I have been in an accident before. My brother was driving. We got hit in the back. So our heads went like this. And my brother's head is so gargantuan that he broke his headrest. His headrest went flying to the back of the car. I'm not sure that I necessarily needed to call out my brother like that. Sorry for that if you're watching, but he does have a mega dome. Next at $15, we have ripping off a fingernail. I'm pretty sure that's like a torture technique. And if you make it through them ripping off all of your fingernails, then they just start breaking your fingers. I think that's how it goes. I only know that because of TV. I don't do that. I don't think about it. I don't like want to do it myself. I don't know, none of that. I just watch TV shows where they do that. That's all. Totally. Next at $17, we have breaking glass on hand. Really? I feel like that's not bad at all, unless you get cut really bad. But like, there's a chance that you break glass and it doesn't cut you necessarily. I think some of the other ones are way worse than that. Another story about one of my other brothers. He got mad at me, actually. And instead of fighting me, he decided to punch a window. This is pretty gory, so I apologize to anyone. I'll try to make it tame, though. But he punched his hand through a window, and then he ripped it back. And let's just say he had to go to the hospital. I'm not going to go into details, but there was a lot of blood, and he had to go to the hospital, and it was really bad. At $18, we have getting a tattoo. I still don't have a tattoo, but I've considered getting one for a while. But I've heard that depending on where you get the tattoo is like how much it really hurts. So if you get a tattoo where it's a lot of bone, that's where it hurts really bad. So like in your hand, like you don't have any muscle here. So when you're getting a tattoo like over top of these bones here, that hurts really, really bad. But in places that you have a lot of muscle, like, I don't know, your arm, I guess, it hurts a lot less. I think, at least, that's what I heard. Next, we have broken bones. Get out of here. No, stop. That's not even close. Sorry for yelling, but that's not even close to getting a tattoo. I know I just said I haven't gotten a tattoo, but no, dude, I've broken bones in my life. I've broken my collarbone. Look, you can see the scar. Can you? I feel like my scar is going away now. Look, I have a scar that goes from here all the way up to there because I broke this bone. It was sticking out. It was terrible. I have a plate in there. I had to get surgery. I broke that. I broke my ankle like my foot completely twisted around, broke my ankle, tore the ligaments in it. I broke my foot, like the three bones in my actual foot. I know what it feels like to break some bones. Outrageously painful. The initial incident is painful alone, but the worst part is having to live with it for the next like week or so. For example, when I broke my collarbone, my arm was just in a sling for the first like week and a half before I got surgery. And so my bone was just like chilling here. Anytime I made any movement with my arm, screaming pain through my whole body, really. Same thing with my ankle. When I broke my ankle, if I ever accidentally stepped on it afterwards, screaming pain through my entire body. Like unexplainable. I can't explain to you how bad it hurts. No one can convince me that getting a tattoo is anywhere near that level of pain. I'm sorry. There's no chance. A 3rd degree burn though, I guess you could convince me that it's similar to breaking a bone, but only for the, actually no, yeah, that's probably pretty bad. 3rd degree burn, I never had one, but I could see that being, similar to breaking a bone, but getting a tattoo, what are we talking about? Next we have getting punched in the face. Bro, I can't. Breaking a bone hurts way more than getting punched in the face, period. Unless like you break your face when you get punched in the face. Nah, it's actually annoying me now. Next we have hot iron on skin. That's kind of like the 3rd degree burn one. Wouldn't a 3rd degree burn be worse than that? Because isn't 3rd degree burn the worst type of burn? I don't know. Either way, I've always been scared of irons. I don't like irons because they're really, really hot and I don't want to get burned by them. At $22, we have broken stitches. You're joking. You're actually kidding me. Broken stitches is more than a 3rd degree burn? That's insane. I'm not saying it feels good to have your stitches get broken, but it's worse than breaking a bone. It's worse than when I had my foot twist all the way around and I couldn't put any weight on it at all for like weeks. Come on now. That's crazy. At $22, we have a stomach ulcer. To be honest, I have no idea what that is or what that feels like, so I don't know. I can't say. I'm assuming it just is a really, really bad stomach ache. At $23, we have freeze burn. How do you even get freeze burn? What is that? Is that when you put something really cold and then really hot on it at the same time? I know there was like the salt and ice challenge where you would put like salt on your arm and then put ice on top of it and that would burn really, really, really bad. Is that what it is? I never actually did it though. Ooh, next up we have a migraine. You know what? I can actually vouch for that. Migraines are really, really, really bad. Oh my God, it's so bad. I went through a phase of the gym where I was pushing myself too hard doing legs and too much blood was rushing to my head. And I know it sounds silly because I think if someone told me this, I'd be like, dude, you're a wimp. Like, grow up. Like, are you serious? Just keep working out, whatever. I'm telling you, like, again, I've broken bones. I've pushed through it. Like, I've had broken bones. Wouldn't even go get checked out for the first couple of days, sometimes a week, because I was like, I'm all right. My point is, the amount of pain that I was in my head from working out and like pushing my all this blood going into my head was oh my God, unbelievable. And so that gave me a whole newfound appreciation for people that get really severe headaches and migraines. I don't really get them normally. Like if I'm not doing anything, I'm good. It's just sometimes when I'm working out really, really hard, it's bad. So I can respect that one. Next, staring at the sun for 5 minutes. Okay, whoever does that deserves it, let's be honest. No one is supposed to stare at the sun for 5. Everyone knows you don't do that. You don't do that. Although, we did watch a video the other day where it was a punishment punishment that teachers would force their students to stare at the sun. Forget for how long. But yeah, I mean, if you're forced to do it, that just sucks, I guess, really bad. Oh my gosh, we are jumping up huge. Wait, no, that's gotta be a typo. I believe we're still at $26. And this one is electric shock from Household Mains. Ugh, that doesn't sound fun at all. I thought getting shocked, though, is more like uncomfortable than anything. I mean, I could totally be wrong, but it's more like, not really like, ow. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Like, that was kind of a perfect reenactment of, you guys know what I mean. I know that you know what I mean. At $27, we have boiling oil on skin. Eesh. Now, that's happened to me, but like very, 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 very mildly just from cooking. And I'm sure anyone who cooks has gone through that. But I'm assuming in this case, it's like if you pour it on your skin. Yeah, no, I actually don't even want to think about it. That would be awful. That'd be like a 4th degree burn. Is that a thing? I thought it only goes up to 3. Bro, what? Next up, we have $28. Chopping off finger? Okay, we're starting to get a little bit crazy now. Chopping off your entire finger is $28. I feel like it should be a higher metric. I don't know who made the doll system, but like 28 doesn't sound like that high of a number, you know? Like if you told me to come up with a number that aligned with the amount of pain that cutting off your finger would be, I would say like 2 million. Like that hurts really, really, really bad. So whoever made this system it's just like, 28. Chop off finger 28 roughly. Yeah, it's about a 28. Like who came up with that? I don't know, but obviously that would hurt insanely bad. Next we have stung by a stingray. The image is still bees, but I do get the point. Stung by stingrays. I've gone swimming with stingrays a couple of times. They're actually pretty nice. They're pretty kind, but I do always get very, very scared that I might make an accidental move and get stung by one. So it is always terrifying, but it's also pretty cool at the same time. At $31, we have swallowing glass. I'm pretty sure the magician David Blaine does that, but he's also a freak. Do not swallow glass ever, guys. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Okay, and at $32, we have chopping off your entire arm. I mean, what is more painful than that? I literally can't think of anything that would be more painful than that. What is it? Like, what's next? Chop off your head? But then you're just dead. It doesn't even hurt. You're just dead. Like, I mean, I guess there's chopping off your leg. That would probably be more, but like, I actually can't think of anything else that's more painful than that. What is worse? I don't know. But apparently there still is like a lot more things that are worse than getting your arm chopped off. How? Okay, I guess getting a heart attack. I can see it. Does that even hurt though? You're kind of just like you feel your heart beating, but I didn't know it hurt. I thought it was just like, ow. Oh, what's happening to me? I thought it was more like that. I didn't realize that the people who are having a heart attack are like, ow, this hurts so bad. Make it stop, please. Let me see. Does having a heart attack hurt? Yes, a heart attack typically causes significant pain. Okay. Yeah, it's a pain in your chest, lots of pressure, tightness, squeezing. Okay. I guess hand up where hand needs to be up. I didn't realize that it actually physically hurt to have the heart attack. I guess that's pretty stupid of me as I reflect on that. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Next up, though, we have getting stabbed. That might be my biggest fear. I think I'd rather be shot than stabbed. I don't know what it is or why, but like the idea of like a knife entering my body and then leaving it is like, everything about it I just despise. I don't like it at all. Speaking of getting shot, though, next is getting shot in the chest with a pistol. Yeah, I guess that would hurt pretty bad. That would hurt very bad. That would hurt really, really, really bad even. In fact, in most cases, you would probably die, depending on where you're shot at least. And that's up at $43. We are starting to really make significant jumps here, significant strides in the pain department. And we're up to 48 now, where we have a car driving into you at 30 miles per hour. Yep, that will leave a mark. Because in that case, you're probably gonna break not just one, but many, many bones. And probably have a concussion and be in the hospital for a while, bruising everywhere. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's probably like the doll of breaking a bone, and then they just multiplied it by like 5 because they assume that you're gonna break a bunch of other bones and be scratched up everywhere because you're gonna go flying in the street. Yeah, no, actually, I think I'm gonna continue to look both ways before I cross any streets. Oh my gosh, at $50, we have passing a kidney stone. Look, I know it's gross. I know it's like, ew, that's like so disgusting to do that. But I'm gonna talk about it for a tiny bit because my dad had them, my brother had them, and it is genetic. It is very common for children to have them if your father had them. So I am in a really bad spot here, and I really never, ever, ever, ever want to do that. $50 is outrageous. But oh, I have $52 that we have getting kicked in the nuts. Oh, I was like half joking about that in the beginning, that I didn't realize would be this high up. Wait, that's actually crazy. You're telling me getting kicked in the nuts I've been kicked in the nuts before. I mean, growing up as a guy, it's like a classic. I feel like once a month, someone's getting punched, ball tapped, kicked, karate chopped, whatever it might be, in the bungalows. It hasn't happened in a while, to be honest, but it's a thing that happens. So I've felt that. I have felt that before. And I'm not saying it feels good. I'm not saying I enjoyed it at all. But my point is, we did just watch someone get stabbed, someone get shot, and you're telling me that getting kicked in the balls is way worse than that? Wow. That kind of makes me feel really awesome about myself because I've been kicked in the nuts before. And I have hurled over, sure, but you know, I get over it, which makes me think if I get shot, I'll be like, that's all you got? Maybe I shouldn't say that though, because then they'll just shoot me again. So that's probably not the best strategy. Next though, we have the big one, the big argument, childbirth. It does seem to statistically be more painful than getting kicked in the nuts, but honestly not by much, by only $5. That is an argument a lot of men and women have though, is that what hurts more? Is it getting kicked in the nuts or having a baby? I can't believe it's close at all though, because like giving birth just seems insane, but apparently it is actually pretty close. Next at $62, we have drinking acid. Why does anyone even know that? Who is dumb enough to even test that? I don't even want to know what that feels like. You know, sometimes you'll be like drinking Coca-Cola or like water and you can feel it. Sometimes, it's not always, like normally if you have an empty stomach, you can feel it like drip down into your belly. I guess with acid, you would feel it just burn everything inside of you. And then you would die from burning from the inside out. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad to me. I don't know how it's only $10 higher than getting kicked in the nuts. You're telling me being burned from the inside out? Like all of your organs, your guts, your heart, your lungs, everything is gonna be just boiling, but it's only 10 higher than getting kicked in the bungalows, in the bungalows. All right, sure. Next at $67, we have getting hit with a train at 80 miles per hour. I hate to admit it, but I've seen a lot of those videos. I don't know why, but people seem to get hit by trains more often than you think. And I don't know why it's on my For You page. I don't know why it's in my recommendeds, but I do see them quite often, and it never ever ever ends well. And last but not least, the most painful thing that a human can experience is at $70 and is being burnt alive. Yep, that sounds horrible. I think in olden times that was a lot of cultures, like torture methods is by burning, and I don't ever want to know what that feels like. But on a brighter note, if you guys did enjoy today's video and want to watch another fun one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and click right here to watch another one.